All right. Hi, everyone. Awesome. We are going to jump into your Etsy questions today. So excited to go over any questions you have. You have submitted some over on Instagram and Facebook as well. So we'll jump right into your questions. We also have a really exciting free training coming up in about 1 hour, about 45 minutes actually. And I'm going to put the link for you to access that right here in the chat. Let's see here. Free training. Whoops, spelled that wrong, but it's coming up this afternoon. And in the meantime, I'll show you kind of what's going to be happening. It's going to be in about an hour. And here we are. Okay. A little smaller. Here we go. So it's going to be all about getting that increase in sales and traffic without spending any money on ads. So all you have to do is click the link in the chat and it will pull up the next time. This is actually our third one that we've done. So starts in 46 minutes. You just put in your name and click register, and then you'll get a link to join that free training in about 45 minutes. So hope to have you there. It's completely free, and it's really all about how to explode your traffic without doing ads. Let's see here. Someone said they cannot hear. Okay, can you hear now? Let me know if you can hear now. Okay. Let's just attest. Okay. So if you missed what I said, we have a free training coming up in 45 minutes. And this is going to be all about how to increase your traffic and really first your traffic, then ultimately your sales without spending any money on ads. So that's coming up in 45 minutes. And all you have to do is click on the link here and just click save my seat. And you pick the time, 45 minutes, your name, and you register. And thanks, Yadira. Yadira is and Emily. Thanks, guys. Okay. And that is coming up in 45 minutes. So I hope to see you there. And it's going to be all about different ways to get traffic. It's going to be 4 steps. And it's really going to address what I'm seeing as the biggest problem with Etsy sellers right now. They always say, my sales are down this year. And I immediately ask about traffic, right? Because if your traffic is cut in half, how do you expect to have the same sales or more sales? Right? We'd expect to see the same thing. So we are diving into really the source of a lot of issues on Etsy right now. And that's in 45 minutes. So just go ahead and click on the link, and it's completely free. And there's 4 main steps. Step number 4 has many options to it, and I encourage you to pick 2 options from this last strategy number 4 here. But anyways, this is all about Q&A. So Etsy Q&A, anything that you want to ask, we'll jump right into. You do submit your questions on Instagram, but also I think Facebook, you've submitted some questions. So we'll jump right in to those. Okay. Let's see, it's not pulling up for me. So in the meantime, if you would like to put questions in the chat, I'm happy to answer them. My Instagram is not pulling up. Angela says, I added on some coaching this past weekend, loving the coaches so far. So glad to hear that, Angela. In the meantime, we'll go to Facebook and we'll see if we have any questions over there that we can answer. Also, if you'd like me to look at your shop and really identify the biggest issue with it, I'm always happy to do that. Okay. Perfect. Cute. I love this. Tiffany here. This is great. Very inspiring. I was barely making sales and constantly second guessing myself. Fast forward, now I'm making good sales and growing. Don't underestimate how quickly things can change. Let's take a look at this shop here. Resin Art by Hira. Mm, Someone asked here for the link. Here's the link in the chat right here to join my free training. All right, let's take a look. Resin Art by Hira. It's not pulling up. Here we go. All right. So this person, they recently joined this group trying to promote their Etsy shop. All right. So resin products do really, really well. I actually have a client who started a shop back in, it was I believe last springtime. Um, they scaled very quickly. I believe it was around the 3-month point that they were doing $13,000 a month in profit. And they were selling resin products. Now they got so overwhelmed with sales and I don't know if you're familiar with resin, but there's like a toxic kind of element to this type of material, where if you have kids or you're pregnant or something, it's not a good idea. So she ended up having to back away from that completely, that product. But resin does really, really well. I actually have a member of our elite inner circle who does resin as well, specifically with florals. Now, I'm not really seeing much more than like sparkles, and I see some shells mixed in. I think there's a lot that you're missing here in terms of the mix in opportunities and trends that you could be pulling in. Because right now you're kind of just doing glitter, multiple colors. So I would say there's opportunity for sure with unique mixed in items and elements. But resin does really well when you can attach some type of heirloom quality or personalization to it. Oh, yay. Baby Cakes says, "Yay, finally I catch you live. You're the best." Thank you. That's great. So a couple things with resin, right? People, your price points and your photos. This is where I think the biggest issue is. It's what we call your value proposition. So your value proposition is the combination of your listing photo and your price point. With this, we are seeing $120 for a keychain. Number one problem, we have one sale in the shop and we're seeing $120 for a keychain. This is concerning. This is very concerning. $75 for this keychain. Something is off. Something is way off with your pricing strategy. I would also say that your SEO needs some major updates. Currently, this is very product-centric SEO. For example, who is typing in ocean keychain with fish, vinyl sticker? Does the person buying this, do they know they're looking for an ocean keychain with a fish? Is the fish something really important to them, right? Does that indicate strong buying behavior or strong buying intention? No, not at all. Do they know? Does the person buying this, do they know that they want a vinyl sticker on it? They don't care how you apply best mom to that. They don't care how you get it to say that. If it's engraved, if it's vinyl, if it's foil, whatever it is, they don't care. They don't care the material, right? The method, the application. And real conch, do people know what type of shell that is? Do they care what type of shell that is? Are people caring so much that they're typing that in on the search bar? Where what we have here, gift for mom and dad, I would not have dad in here because your thumbnail includes mom. If you want to have a dad option, what we would do is then duplicate this listing, have a thumbnail that features best dad, maybe some different aesthetics with that. And then we would use dad and Father's Day in your SEO. But with this, we do not want to mismatch SEO with a photo that doesn't align. Okay. Gift for mom, that is one purpose-driven long tail keyword, and that's okay. Mother's Day gift, that's okay. However, we are past Mother's Day. So sad, right? But we are past Mother's Day, and we need to move on from that, especially since you have essentially one sale. Um, Ocean resin art, right? That is also very, very product specific, very product specific. So we want to expand way beyond this, way beyond product and think about purpose and utility. So clearly we have mom, right? You could also have grandma, best aunt, right? We could think of other female figures in someone's life, best friend, and you could start to incorporate that. Now, I'd also consider, right, birthday gift, stocking stuffer, right? The price point really needs some adjusting right now. We also, I know I'm going deep on this, but I want to make sure we're giving a lot of value here to what the issues are. I mean, all the photos need updating for sure, hands down. We're getting very pixelated on this, very blurry, out of focus. The box has some, smudges and dings on it, which means it's not helping you, it's hurting you. And we're not at all optimized for Pinterest. Now, the interesting thing is there is a specific reason that people will not buy this. Does anyone know why someone would not buy it? Any ideas? I would love to hear in the chat. Why do you think someone could not buy this? I'm giving you a hint. You see what I'm looking at? People cannot and will not buy this because we are providing an option that should not be an option. Okay. We are let's see. Yeah, we are offering an option here, a choice that should not be a choice. This is kind of like Where's Waldo? Anyone know what Where's Waldo is? Well, the price for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Where's Waldo is it's kind of like where you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's a little kid's book. I love it. It's really cute. Teaches your kids persistence. But that's what we're doing here. We're trying to find Where's Waldo. What is the difference between these four things? If, outside of best dad and best mom, right? Okay, the placement is a little different. What are the key differences here? There's a slightly different placements of the fish, slightly different placements of the vinyl, right? It's too many choices that really don't matter. It's going to put someone into analysis paralysis. They're going to look at this and be like, what? What is the difference? Okay. Also, when you are going to show packaging, make sure that the packaging elevates the product. If you're going to show packaging, it has to elevate the product. It has to add value. If your packaging does not add value to the product, if it doesn't make someone feel like they'd be willing to pay more for it because of how great the packaging is, then it's a distraction from the product. And you should not be showing that. For example, a $75 keychain, this packaging, this looks like cheap cardstock that someone just cut little slits in. Right? So this is hurting it. It's like, I'm spending $75. I want this coming on like a velvet, ring box or something. So the packaging, you never want to show packaging if it's hurting you. I honestly think this packaging, it's not helping. If you really look, I don't know if you can see, but this happens with black, especially a matte black, right? It looks kind of dinged up. Okay. So yeah. Okay. I hope that helps a little bit. But anyways, a lot to be done in this shop. We have a product framework in module 2 where we have different listings with different purposes. And it would really help just because right now there's nothing high converting about this from the photos to the price points. So we need to make some major, major updates. Major updates. If you want to be selling resin items at $140, you absolutely can. And I've had clients do that. I have clients doing that right now with resin items. However, these are, um, these products would not warrant this pricing. Yeah, this is just a live. This is not our coaching call. This is not my coaching calls are in the course platform. So these lives, they're not coaching. It's really just giving you a high level look at what's happening. My coaching calls are right here. My next one, just a heads up, it's going to be Friday. It will be posted very soon, but it will be Friday. So these are the coaching calls. This is just a fun live that I do once a week. Now, we do have a really exciting opportunity coming up in 30 minutes. And I'm going to give you guys the link to this. This is my training on how to get your first 1,000 orders or your next 1,000 orders on Etsy without spending a dime on ads. And there's 4 steps in this training, 4 steps to doing this successfully. And I'm going to be breaking it all down for you. My whole framework for how to really increase traffic and sales without ads. This is a free training. You just click on the link in the chat here. You click Save My Seat. And then you go ahead, the time, it's the only time available, and you put in your name and register. Okay, and that will get you to meet with me in 30 minutes. And this is a group, right? A group. We're all going to be together going through this, and it's free. So I definitely encourage you to join that. We'll have a little bit of Q&A on that as well. But it's going to be very focused on those next 1,000 orders, specifically with organic methods, no paid ads. Okay. And one of the best things is at the end of this training, just for staying to the end and following the instructions, you will get my free Q2 Etsy Insider quarterly report, which I actually haven't released anywhere. This is, we just finished it this weekend, and it's my quarterly report. We'll give it to you if you stay to the end, follow the instructions. And we also are going to have a giveaway on this training for 1 shop audit and then 1 ticket to our Etsy Masterclass experience. So yeah, some exciting things on this training, definitely worth coming to. So I want to make sure this is the last opportunity for this. So we're not doing another one. This is the last opportunity. We did 2 of them yesterday, and there's 1 more today. So last chance to get that. And that Q2 report will be in there as well. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. If you have any questions, go ahead and put your link to your shop or any questions in the chat. Overall, resin, though, does really, really well. You can charge a lot for it. However, not with these products. Not with these products. And I also see you are in Pakistan. Now, if you are international, there are things you need to do to really make US-based customers feel safe to purchase from you. So there's a lot we need to do in the shop to really create that trust with customers. Ooh, someone said, will you be having another Etsy summit this year? Yes, Angela. Yes, we are. Yes, more to come on that. We're targeting fall. Nordica Prints, can you submit your shop for review? Yes, I'm going to guess that your shop's name is Nordica Prints. Okay. Also, I'm curious, we have had some additional questions lately about scaling profitably. And, once you hit 5 to 10,000 a month, the question becomes, okay, how do I scale my revenue and my profit? Because at that point, we need to hire a team, right? That's the point where we need to start hiring. I would say about $20,000 a month, it starts to make sense to hire. Anyone at that point, go ahead and put in the chat if you're at that point where you are starting to look at hiring an assistant or maybe someone to do social media, someone to do the Pinterest strategy, Facebook strategy, person, customer engagement, potentially, right? Even customer service, or even just something in person like packaging. Is anyone at the point where they are needing to start hiring? We have full trainings on this for interviewing. We give you job posts that you can use for hiring. We help you with the interview process. We can help you create test projects. So, in terms of hiring, we now have 41 people in this company, which is absolutely crazy considering we're only not even 3 years old. And we've learned so much about hiring for different roles, different skill sets, different levels, and that is something that we are bringing in more and more and more with our Etsy clients, because hiring is a skill and it's really expensive to get hiring wrong. It's extremely expensive to your Etsy shop to hire the wrong person. And it's also extremely expensive to be too afraid to hire. It's a huge cost to your business to be afraid to make that first hire, right? You're capping yourself, you're constraining yourself, and really limiting your potential. So you're throttling revenue by being afraid to hire and being afraid to grow and being held back in that way where you are the limitation in your shop. So making those first hires, it's scary. And it's scary if you do it wrong the first time because then you kind of lose confidence in your hiring ability. So we are helping a lot more with hiring. If any, I'm curious if any of you are in that position where you are looking at scaling a team and bringing on a team. One of our top clients, she has actually 50 employees, and this is at warehouse, a physical warehouse. Um, so that's interesting. But yeah, if you ever need help on that in really scaling, in financial planning, we do provide those services as well. Okay, one second. Okay. So if you are in a position where you are specifically looking to bring on a team, I would love to chat with you about that specifically. It sounds like a lot of you might be beginners, but if you are in a position where you are looking to bring on a team, go ahead and schedule the free call with us. But when you're filling this out, specifically say building a team, in kind of what your goals are, because we have some additional topics and themes and trainings that we are really investing in with our team. And so all you'd have to do is go ahead and put it right here. Yeah, what problems you're facing. Just type in here, building a team. Specifically if you are in that stage of the business. Okay, so I put that in the chat. But yeah, if you are at the point where you are looking to expand, and looking, how do I scale this? Because I can't do it myself. And I know I'm going to need like an assistant or some type of role. We can help you identify what that role is, what they would be doing, what the job post should be, where you should put that job post, how to interview them, how many people to interview, what test project to do, how to ramp them up, how to have a probation period, how to have really performance reviews, how to put them on a performance improvement plan if needed, and more. Okay, we have a shop that was submitted. Practical sheets. Let me pull this up. Let's see. Oh, someone did submit this shop. So I would say here, again, we're having an issue with your value proposition, and our product framework would be very helpful for you just because right now I see we have digital wall art, and then it looks like you're just like $5 to $60, and that is, I would say, pretty big limitation in how high we could get the average order value. So there's also gonna be different ways to serve this customer in different areas of their life. So for example, you are doing wall art. How many times a year or per month do people buy new wall art? You're really going to limit multi-item orders and also the lifetime value of the customer. Because how many years are they going to keep coming back? Or is this like a one and done thing where they then forget about your shop? Okay, so a lot we can do here. for the lifetime value of the customer specifically, let's look up that Practical Sheets Co. shop. I see it in the chat here. Okay, cool. Nice. All right. One of our clients actually, she just put in her April results. She does spreadsheets and I think she landed at like 59,000 roughly for the month. And she's expanding her team. She has a full-time job. She's expanding her team, but a lot we can do here. I think your biggest limitation right now is the product mix. Is the product mix and specifically who you're targeting. I would say you are very in the world of spreadsheets, you're very top of funnel. And the more specific we get, the more we can charge, right? The more we can also increase the lifetime value of the customer because you are seen as an authority in a certain area. Because we're going from, I'm seeing working out to weight loss to cash flow to health insurance, right? So I would say there's a big opportunity to increase the lifetime value of a customer, to build that trust, to really position yourself as an authority. And going broad like this with only 363 sales, it's basically going to slow you down significantly. Yeah, so that is my concern for you. Also, how are we going to hit financial goals with these price points? This is not the path to hit $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month. There's a lot we would need to fix about what I would call building a dynamic product mix where we have different listings with different purposes in order to hit, substantial or meaningful financial goals. Okay. I have another one here. Celtic tradition. Let's see here. Sounds like a shop my mom would love. She's super into the Irish thing. Okay. Okay. Are you putting watermarks on these, or is this an actual print? A lot of questions on that. Looks like you are watermarking everything. These photos, and don't take this the wrong way, but these photos would not be worth watermarking at this point. We need to get some seriously new updated photos. That would change everything. Photos, lighting, that would change everything. Need new pricing strategy. Also, very, very, very product-centric SEO. We could seriously get you in front of new audiences if you were willing to learn different SEO strategies. Okay, it's a watermark. Yeah, I would not be doing a watermark on this, especially on a product that doesn't have a design on it, like an actual graphic, because this is looking like you're putting this graphic on these kilts, which that alone will turn someone away. Okay. So SEO updates needed, photo updates, pricing strategy updates, the product mix itself could be updated. You are basically 35 to, for the most part, 56. So you're in a really, really small window here. Okay. And when it comes to apparel, anyone selling apparel online, I used to sell apparel on Zappos and Zulily, and there's certain things you need to include to convert a customer, especially on something like Etsy, because with the Zappos, for example, we offered free returns, free shipping, and still apparel has struggles with conversion rate. So without free returns, you're shipping Irish clothing from Pakistan for $28 at this price point. We need to provide so much more information for someone to feel comfortable with this. You're worried that someone will copy your products. You do not have to worry about that right now because these photos are not good enough for someone to take and steal the photos. Do not even worry about that. Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of roadblocks preventing someone from feeling comfortable purchasing here. Okay. I would eliminate those watermarks immediately. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And we need a full new strategy to get traffic. If you want to know about Pinterest, I'm going to be talking about Pinterest. Yeah. Okay. This is an issue. I'm going to be talking about Pinterest on my training. It's in about 15 minutes. So let me give you the link to that. We'll be covering Pinterest strategy. But for anyone, okay, it's right here. For anyone doing Pinterest in this way would be a waste of your time. So if you're going to do Pinterest, and we'll be talking about this more in about 20 minutes, if you're going to do Pinterest, it's not even worth it. Like it's a waste of time unless you've completely updated your listings to be fully optimized with optimized SEO and like full Pinterest optimization. So right now, I mean, you only have 2 photos. This is not high converting, right? The SEO is not right. The pricing strategy is not there. So spending time on Pinterest is a waste of time. And so, I'm all about any action you take with your shop, it should be a profitable action step. Otherwise, it's a distraction of what you should be doing. It's a distraction from what you should be doing. So spending time on Pinterest, right, is the wrong place to spend your time. And that's why a lot of shops don't succeed because they focus on the wrong things at the wrong time. And so what you need is like clear steps of what to focus on first. Because you jumped ahead to Pinterest with unoptimized listings, you're not going to see any traction with that. And yet you're putting time into something that won't bear any fruit. So we need to only put your time into things that will move the needle. You're trying to get this off the ground right now. You have 1 sale, right? We're trying to get this business off the ground, but we're putting our time into the wrong things. So I would say you need like a full reframe, different priorities. First things first, right? We got to create optimized listings that would actually convert the right customer if they came to it. So that's the next step before jumping ahead. And I think a lot of people think and they hear, "Oh, I know I should do Pinterest. I know I should do Facebook. I know I should be doing Instagram." So they dip their toe into all these different little areas, but we're just dipping the toe in without even having the right foundation, right? And the right foundation in the shop to benefit from any of those activities, you could say. Okay. I hope this is helpful. It's really easy for me to like jump in and look at a shop like this and see where we're putting time or effort and how we need to refocus, get the train back on the tracks, right? Because if we go off the rails, like we are just throwing spaghetti at the wall, you won't see any results, and then you're going to quit Etsy because right? Because you're not seeing results. You're like, this is a waste of my time. But it's really not that Etsy is a waste of your time. It's that the current actions are a waste of time. So yeah. So that is I hope that's helpful. I always want to be direct and candid. Don't want you wasting your time on the wrong things. I want you to be a successful business owner. This is for everyone here. And if I see, priorities are way off, my goal is always to bring someone back on track so they can actually see some sort of results. Otherwise, most of you have families. I'm sure you have kids. You have other jobs, maybe. You have other people you could be spending your time with. And if you're making life sacrifices and lifestyle sacrifices to put time into Etsy, like please at least be doing the right steps. Otherwise, you're making a sacrifice and you're going down like a really wrong path. That's not going to yield any results. So the sacrifice will have been for nothing, really just a tough lesson at the end of the day. And why do that if you don't have to? So, all right, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to go get ready for this class, this free training. So definitely join me over here. I'm going to put the link again in the chat. All you have to do, just to be super clear, all you have to do is go to this link, click Save My Seat, and then you just put in your email, and we'll email you the link to join. And actually, I think we might text it to you too, just so you can do it on your phone if that's easier. Okay, but we're going to be going through everything for driving traffic and sales for free. No ads required. And if you're doing ads right now, you have to come to this. Like if you have ads turned on in your shop, please come to this. I think it will be extremely eye-opening, and I just want to blow your mind with what's possible. So I will see you guys very soon.